Just shake it out. Feels good. Should try it.
Do you want to hear a surprise twist in song form?
Okay.
You're gonna diarrhea. I made it up in the shower the other day. Welcome to Should We Get Married with Kiley and Kyle. So here we are again, doing another podcast. And I just want to thank the listeners. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you for downloading the podcast from the podcast machines out there. And thanks for telling a friend. And thanks for leaving a review. And thanks for giving us a rating on wherever you listen to podcasts. It means a lot, helps so much. And follow us at Instagram at SWGM Pod and Facebook, but Facebook can go fuck itself. We're on Instagram.
Fuck Facebook.
And leave us a question on shouldwegetmarriedpod.com.
Yeah, it's anonymous.
Yeah, it's totally anonymous.
You can ask us anything.
And we're saving a bunch of questions for maybe a question episode down the road here. So thank you so much for all that. And Should We Get Married is a podcast about relationships, and specifically our relationship. And we are asking the question of should we get married? But it's in the context and the spirit of should we get married? Should anyone get married? And what are relationships? And how do we navigate the cosmos of a relationship and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Also, should we fill in the blank? Should we anything?
Should we do anything? And we just want to explore like the psychology, the science, and also just the emotions and our personal feelings of all of it, and just have this really open-minded discussion in positivity about all that stuff. And I
sprinkled with some storytelling and some anecdotes.
Yeah, and this whole thing is to just sit down with you, Kiley, and to have a talk and to be really vulnerable and open, because we believe that as to be strength, and to just kind of put stuff out there and talk about our relationship. And it's done nothing but move things forward in a really positive direction for our personal relationship. It's been incredible for us to do this thing. Yeah. I can't even believe we're 16 episodes. This is our 16th, I think, with the bonus.
Including bonuses, yeah.
And it's just kind of changed my life, really.
Whoa.
In not in a huge way, but it has changed my life. And I really love it with all of my heart. So what are we talking about today?
I feel the same. Well, I'll put this in your words. You wanted to talk about getting fat,
I'm
which
so fat right now.
You are not.
No, I really am. And we talked about in the first podcast, or one of the first couples, like when I said, it was in a Me Likey that I said that you enjoy physical fitness and we're both into it.
Yeah,
and
except for the last 3 months.
For me, it's been like a year.
Okay.
It's been a year of eating too much and not being physically active enough. And I just feel like I've definitely gained 15 pounds, maybe 20 pounds. And I want to talk about it because, number one, I feel like crap. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I don't see my best self. And I put a lot of my stuff into work and, sobriety and recovery and all these other things, and not into my physical self. And not to mention a lot of Netflix watching and a lot of, rest and relaxation movies, video games and stuff like that. And it's compounded to the point to where I feel uncomfortable. And I think it's my experiment. It's my question to you right now is if because I've gained weight. And by the way, like I fluctuate about 10 to 20 pounds year over year. I lose it and I gain it and I lose it and I gain it type of thing.
I've watched you do that for 6 years. You've been extremely thin. You've been more cut and muscular. And then you've been like slightly overweight a few times. And you kind of just go through this cycle of motivation and then off season and then kind of back on. And I've a little bit fallen into some of the cycle.
You're way more consistent
with you, but I do try to,
And I think it has to do with just my addictive personality and enjoying resting on my laurels. I do that really well. And enjoying,
Well, so do I.
Just eating sugar, just eating pounds of sugar, just like fat sandwiches and sugary treats all the time.
Yeah.
And
it's like, there's like a lack of discipline for a while.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Where you almost talk yourself into it being okay that you're eating that way until you decide that you're over it.
Oh,
so
I hit the fuck it switch.
Yeah. You have a really good understanding of what good nutrition is. But when you're in your cycle of other stuff, you're like, this is a healthy meal. And I look at your plate and I'm like, what are you saying?
Wait, what do you see when I say this is a healthy meal on my plate?
A sandwich and potato chips and a chocolate chip cookie for like every meal. And it drives me fucking bonkers because you're like, why is bread a bad carb? Why is it bad? And I'm like, you fucking know why it's bad.
Hang on a second though. Why
can't I have potatoes for every meal?
When I'm fit, I still eat bread. I still eat potatoes.
I know, but that's different because you're working out.
No, I understand that too.
Also, you still shouldn't eat a lot of it if you're trying to get like nutrients and stuff.
I think I'm like half kidding when I say that to you.
Okay. Okay.
But so back to the question I want to ask you.
Okay.
Is, are you less attracted to me because I'm fat right now? And I want you to be honest. I want you to be really honest, and I'm prepared to hear you and absorb your answer to that question.
No, I'm not.
Is it because I just explained it? Is it just because I gave you an out and that's really sexy because I have an open mind?
No.
With this particular question?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not less attracted to you. I've seen you way more than you weigh right now.
Really?
Yes.
Serious?
Absolutely.
When did I weigh more than I do now?
When we lived in our apartment in Woodinville.
Oh, really?
It was a really bad time. And I can show you a picture. And I bring it up every once in a while and you go, fuck.
I think we should compare those pictures. I think they're really similar, to be honest.
I think you're a little bit overweight for your body right now, for your taste and what you're used to and where you feel good at. I don't think that you're walking around and look fat to anyone else.
Okay, well, that's nice to hear. I'm
serious about that too.
I hear you, but I think you're around me too much to really notice.
Well, maybe. I mean, yeah, I'm around you 24/7, but that's also not the only thing I find sexy about you. The things I find sexy about you, I still get to experience every day. The conversations that you and I have, the support that you give me, which I experienced a lot of over this last weekend. You're very supportive. The nice things that you do for me and for us in our relationship and for our pets.
Kiley went on a search and rescue 3-day intensive training program for man tracking. And Washington has the best man tracking team in the whole world. Is that correct? Or is it the U.S.?
I don't know. I think it's the biggest. It's definitely the biggest.
And man tracking means you're literally tracking humans.
Yeah, and there's also animal tracking, which is separate. But it's more in depth than I could ever explain to anyone. And people literally are still learning after 20 years. But
well, you sent me a photo and you said, "Can you spot the footprint?" And I took a guess, and it, by the way, it just looked like a picture of the ground. I did not see a footprint. I just took a guess of what it was, and I was wrong. It was in a different spot. And then I showed that photo to other people, and everybody's like, there's no way there's a footprint even here. And you said that was the easiest footprint to find all weekend long.
That was my prime sign of the weekend. So that was my most signature footprint of the man I was tracking. It was a beautiful one. In photos, it's hard to capture it in photos, but you don't actually see a footprint. Like, to explain it like to a 5-year-old, you're looking at other things within that footprint,
like how the light falls on it and stuff like that, the shadows and everything.
Yeah, something called shine, which is the way the light hits things that are bent a certain way that's not growing naturally, leaves that are somewhat overturned, bruising, which you have to age, by the way, because it could have been a footprint from any time and been bruised, but it has to age back to that date and time of the person you're tracking. Broken branches or twigs that are broken the right direction and at the right time.
And your teacher, the person who put this together, is the best that ever was and ever has been, right?
Well,
who's written on the subject of tracking?
So Joel Harden is like the best tracker in the world, and he created this program. It's the Joel Harden training program, and
the best tracker in the world.
And he's still alive, so it's not even that old of a program. And he's worked for like government agencies and been on huge missing person cases across the world in different countries.
They fly him around and he finds people.
And he's getting close to retirement. But the person who leads our man tracking team of Snohomish County Search and Rescue, he has tracked alongside Joel Harden for like 20 or 30 years.
Right. They're partners.
Yeah. And he helped him build some of this program. So he is one of the most knowledgeable people ever. And he wasn't running this training. It's other people within the program, but he's there with us, and he's just as a mentor as anyone. So,
Kiley, I think what you do and what you're doing in search and rescue and the man tracking, like anything you do in search and rescue is really cool. But I really love this avenue you're taking as well. And the fact that you're doing it, you're going outside of your comfort zone, and you're really interested in it, and you come home and you tell me all about it. It's really amazing. I really look up to you big time for it, because I did search and rescue. I did some training, and then my band at the time was starting to tour and stuff, so I stopped. So you're like way beyond what I was, and it's really cool to see where it goes and how hard you're working, and I'm learning so much from you, and I just think it's really cool, and I don't know how I couldn't be supportive of this thing.
Well, see, everyone, you see the things he says? That's very supportive. That's wonderful. And you deal with me being gone or having to go to meetings or training or whatever, and then you have nothing but nice things to say when I get home, and it's very encouraging. So
yeah, well, when you're gone, I get to sit on the couch and eat junk food.
You do that when I'm here.
That's true.
Anyway, it was a really fun weekend. And so
cool. You don't think I'm less
I still
attractive?
think you're sexy.
Really?
Okay. You're supportive. You're hilarious. You are kind and loving. You do. I came home this weekend, and I only talked to you like once the whole 4 days, and I had like mentioned that every meal at the camp we were all of my friends and I were like hoping it was spaghetti, and I came home and you are cooking this elaborate like homemade meatballs and spaghetti dinner for me. It
was super simple. I got the recipe.
It was not.
No, it was. I got the recipe from my homeboy, and it was kind of easy. I'd never made spaghetti from scratch. Like, I didn't make the noodles, right? Which you can do.
You should have.
Oh man, I messed up. But I did everything else from scratch, and it was good. And I bought this, but I didn't make the garlic bread from scratch, and I bought it from Whole Foods.
It was so good. But
Dude, people put too much garlic on stuff.
dude, we were sick all night.
It's out of control how much garlic
Yeah.
gets put on just about everything. Everybody's putting garlic on everything, and it's too much. It's too much garlic.
Well, some people are more sensitive to it, and I'm one of them, and you are one of them.
Yeah, I am too. But even if I loved garlic, it's out of control.
And then, well,
The garlic thing's out of control.
yeah, it'll wake me up in the middle of the night if I have too much. But you also brought home all these delicious, like a box full of cookies, and we ate the entire box after the big meal.
Yeah.
And then about 4 hours later, I was walking around like, I don't feel good. I don't feel good.
You got pretty nauseous. I think that was from the garlic bomb from that garlic bread. Because I didn't even put a full clove in the whole dish.
Yeah, it's the garlic bread for sure. And then I fell asleep watching TV, which never happens because I don't want to miss anything.
You had a big weekend. So anyways, back to me and my thing.
Okay. You're not fat.
I am, though. This is
here's
the problem.
what you need to say. Instead of saying I'm fat, because there are people that are very obese.
Yeah, they're fat too. And I am fat, and they're fat, and there's just a bunch of fat humans out there, and I'm one of them.
No, there are a litany. Does that mean like a long list?
Yeah.
Plethora?
Nailed it.
Okay. There are a litany of other things that an actual fat or obese person has to deal with on a daily basis that you do not. So you should just say that you're overweight.
Go ahead and name.
You're feeling overweight.
Go ahead and name a couple of those, and I'll tell you if I deal with them.
Having to fly on an airplane and take up 2 seats.
Okay, we can check that off the list. Mm-hmm. Right.
Having other people in public stare at you.
Well, they do that, but it's only because I'm super handsome.
Having people literally fat shame you.
Okay, so so when I was a kid, I was overweight. In fact, not unlike how I am now. Okay. Seriously. And I was made fun of a lot in school about being a fatty. My friends.
We all went through a phase.
No. This was years and years. Like I was the fat kid, and people made fun of me because I was fat in school, middle school, high school.
Can we post a photo on our Instagram?
Sure. Yeah.
Do you have one from that time?
I could probably find something.
Or we could just post a cute photo of you as a kid to.
Okay. Anyways, I was made fun of a lot. So that might be where I feel shame. But I just don't feel good right now.
I think that's mostly what it is.
And I think, here's what I think. I think there is an attractiveness that goes... So a long-term relationship, you need to be attracted to the other person. Mm-hmm. And I'm just, if you were to get fat, I would be less attracted to you.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is I've been 15 pounds overweight.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
And I could.
When we were together?
Yeah.
When?
I lost 15 pounds last year.
Really?
Yeah. And
Okay.
I've gained some of that back. And I'm in a slump right now. I quit my CrossFit membership. And
well, the gym closed.
I haven't been eating healthily. Yeah, but I didn't go for like 2 months before that.
True.
And it happens every time we go to Hawaii. We come back and I have zero motivation to go to the gym. And then I have to get my ass back in gear months later. So it's going to be fun in a month from now. But anyway, I do understand how you feel.
Let me ask you this.
You're not feeling healthy.
Kylie, I got to ask you this. Do you feel less attracted to me now than when I was in really good shape? Answer me that. Physically attractive.
Just physically?
Yeah.
Well, of course. Wouldn't we all say that?
Well,
if you're
presumably.
If you're looking at one person fitter than not fit, you're going to choose the fitter.
Okay, fair enough. All right, that's okay. So that definitely ties into the majority of what I'm trying to say.
Just like you were probably more attracted to me when I was all cut up 2 Hawaii trips ago versus right now.
Yeah,
Look,
but you're
check
not.
this out.
But you're not far.
I just lifted my shirt up.
Okay. Yeah, and I see it, and you look great.
Okay.
I see it, and you look great.
You see this? You see these red lines?
Yeah, that's where the folds are, but you're still not fat like me. I mean,
okay. This is.
I just want you to hear what I'm saying.
I do.
Okay. So,
are you at a point where you want to get out of feeling that way?
Well, that's the thing is like, it's hard. It's really hard to get motivated to do anything about it. And I don't know what to do. And that's why I'm talking about it, because I feel poopy and I feel super fat because I am. And I have to deal with
I'm so sorry.
I have to just deal with being overweight. You are uncontrollably laughing right now. And it's not cool because my heart is out and open.
Okay.
And I'm trying to be honest. You cannot stop laughing. You're having a laugh attack as I'm telling you how I feel.
I'm so sorry.
Stop apologizing.
Oh, you said poopy. Okay.
I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. I can't get motivated to get outside to lose weight or get more fit
or not buy cookies.
Cookies are just. I'm making cookies. I'm buying cookies. Every day I'm eating dessert cookies. After every meal. I have dessert after every meal. Okay, I think we've kicked this horse enough.
No. I think we should go further than like just you feeling fat.
It's not a feeling though. I am fat.
Okay.
All right.
So there's that. And then there's the other side of it where you're not ready to not be that way right now.
All right.
Right?
Tell me how you feel about this whole thing.
Well, I feel like you should either lean into it for a while and just be like, I'm going to fucking be a slob for X amount of time.
Okay, that's been happening for 6 months.
Yes, but there's that way of looking at it, and then there's the other way, which is you're doing it, and you're doing it, and you're doing it, but you're also complaining about being that way and not solving it. So you should either just like allow it to happen and enjoy it, I guess, or...
You really don't want that to happen.
Well, I know that it'll always get to a point where you turn the page. And
what if it never does?
I know that you don't want to feel that way.
I know, but it's more or less an addictive behavior thing.
Well, the question's for you then. At some point, do you want me to try and motivate you or help solve the issue? Or do you want me to continue to just be supportive and be a good partner?
How do you think the best way to motivate me would be?
Leading by example.
Okay, I like that.
Like when I get back into the gym and when I start eating healthy is usually, or a couple times it's happened where you'll sort of fall in line and it'll be attractive to you that someone is doing that as an example. But
can I just say this?
It didn't work the last time.
No, it doesn't work every time. You're right. So every time you've changed from my behavior, it's been because I did the thing. I didn't tell you to do the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or maybe a combination of the both, but I had to walk the walk.
Yeah.
And that comes back to like recovery and sobriety. You gotta do the thing you're talking about.
Yeah. And that's also why, like, when I get on a certain nutrition plan or kick, I also offer to make the food for you, like make an extra portion, but you don't want to eat it.
Well, you want to
just do my thing.
You want to do the whole 30 or something where it's just a gimmick. It's just low.
No, it's eating healthy food.
Yeah, that's what it is, but it's wrapped in a gimmick.
Not always.
Every time you bring something to me, it is.
I mean, I did 10 days of no sugar and asked you to do it with me, so there was no sugar in the house, and that lasted 2 days. And the whole point is to kick the habit so I can just eat normal and healthy afterwards.
Well, you lasted the full 10. I lasted the 2 days. And let me tell you about those 2 days. I had never felt better in my life.
So why did you do that?
Because sugar is the most delicious thing.
Yeah.
And that's all I got. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't do drugs. But I do sugar.
It's true. So the whole point of this, though, is because you want to talk about how you start dating someone and, like, right in the beginning, you're fucking on par with how you look, how you act.
I love what you're saying, yes.
What you say to each other.
Yeah.
And then over time, it just gets to the point where you're farting and I don't put on makeup all weekend.
Not everyone farts in front of each other.
True. But
some ladies put makeup on every day for their man to get home.
We've been watching Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and is that where you got that from?
That is a story that people are writing on paper.
Okay.
It's not real.
Yeah, that happens. But I think for the majority of people, over time you get comfortable. You gain a little weight, you stop trying as hard.
This is amazing that you're saying this.
Okay.
Because I have something. Mm-hmm. There was a study. A new study. This is from menshealth.com.
Oh, Men's Health.
It's just, why did you say it like that?
I don't know. Cynical.
But why was it, what was the motivation behind you saying that?
What about women's health?
Yeah, it was published on a bunch of health things. A new study found that the average person gained 17 pounds within 1 year of finding love.
1 year?
Getting in a relationship or dating. Yeah, 1 year.
Interesting.
And feeling less pressure to look their best was the main reason people gained weight.
Feeling less stressed?
To look their best.
Less
pressure to look their best.
Oh, sure. Of course.
Right? Prior research has shown that couples tend to eat healthier foods, but in larger quantities. That is not the case for me.
Here's the thing that's wrong with that entire scenario, which is the truth, by the way.
All right.
You feel less stressed to look your best, right? That's what it said?
Less pressure.
Less pressure.
Same-ish thing.
Okay. That's backwards because what you're supposed to care about the most is feeling good inside and feeling healthy for yourself. Mm-hmm. No matter what. No matter if you're in love, in a relationship, dating, want to be single. And that's where I think that's where a lot of the mentality is backwards for people.
Oh, yeah, it's for sure backwards. I agree with that.
It's like if you're healthy and taking care of yourself first is when you can then give to others and be of service or however to others.
Yeah.
And so the minute you stop taking care of yourself or worrying about other people instead is where things go to shit. So a year in, you're not taking care of yourself, then what's going on there?
Oh, I think it's just saying that people get comfortable.
Yeah, sure.
That's pretty. I mean, you were way up here you were way over in the extreme, and I think it's more or less just kind of a normal thing.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But you're also right too. It should be.
But does it yeah. Some people never get rid of that weight then, I guess. It's like the freshman 15.
So what do you want to see me do?
What do I want to see you do?
Yeah, how would you, because you want to be attracted to me long term, right?
Yeah.
What would you like me to do in order for you to be attracted to me?
That's a good question.
Sexually. Romantically.
So that's a tough thing to answer because it's not that I want you to physically look cut while we're fucking. Mm-hmm. It's more that it's sexier if you have confidence in yourself. And I don't know that you have that right now.
Really? So when we were having sex the other day, I didn't have you felt that I wasn't confident?
No, just in general.
Okay, a general. Right.
And I think that goes both ways. So the real answer, It's a really hard thing to answer because I'm not worried about what you're going to do. I'm still worried about what I'm going to do, is because the more confident I can be with myself and my body, the better I know our sex is going to be both ways.
Hang on a second. You don't walk around and go, Kyle's been putting on some pounds. Yeah, at that certain angle, he's just not looking really good there. The chins are doubling up and stuff like that. And I don't feel good about it. You don't?
Not at this
you don't
point.
Go through that? Because I go through that.
If you gain another 20, maybe.
I go through that, though.
Yeah, okay.
I don't understand how you don't go through that.
You mean you go through that with me?
Yeah, with anybody I've ever been with.
Yeah, you'd have to gain quite a bit more weight for it to be gross.
Well, and so your your threshold is like another 20 pounds?
I don't know. How many pounds are you overweight right now?
Well, I don't know, but so I think like 190 is my ideal weight, and right now I'm 220, so probably 30 pounds.
Okay. I think I've seen you a little bigger. Like your face will plump up a little more.
Again, I think you're just around me too much.
Maybe. Clearly I'm okay with it.
Yeah, which is great. I am trying to find
if there's
some
a point where
here.
Like your
That's
clothes
true.
aren't going to fit.
Oh, well, that's long past. Are you serious? You've gone with me to the mall to buy new pants.
You're wearing a shirt. Okay, that's true. You're wearing a shirt I've seen you wear for 6 years.
You're too enabling, I think.
Hell no. I want you to stop eating cookies every night and work out.
So
I just want you to be healthy. That's all I want. I want you to live longer, and I want to be together for a really long time. I don't want your arteries to clog up and you have a heart attack when you're 70.
That's true. I'm 36, so in 4 years I'll be 40. I do need to, if I want to be feeling good around 65 to 75, I'm going to need to make this way more consistent than I have, because this 15, I said 10 to 15 pounds, but I think it's more like 20 pound fluctuation. And sometimes it's year to year. Most of the time it's every year I do that. But sometimes I hold that 20 and then 1 year I'll take it off for a little while and then I'll put it back on. But I got to stop. I think I got to stop doing that if I want to feel, and I got to move more.
Yeah.
If I want to feel good later in my life, I got to move more.
That's something I think about more than I think about, Kyle's a little overweight. He doesn't look as hot as usual. I literally think...
That's how you feel right now?
I'm about to tell you how I feel.
Okay, cool. Cool.
I have the thought often when you're not eating really healthy meals, you're not a fan of fruits or vegetables.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't seen you eat a vegetable.
Fuck fruits.
That's not a tomato on a burger.
And fuck vegetables.
Okay.
But if it's in sandwich form, I'm all for it.
Exactly. So I want you to live longer and be healthier. Mm-hmm. Like my dad had a heart attack in his 60s, and he's okay, but he has to work really hard to stay okay.
Yeah.
That shit happens. I eat red meat, and I think meat is important for our nutrition, but like if that's all you're eating and then like no vegetables, no nutrients at all, no vitamins, that catches up with you in different ways.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
That is not true. There's dude, it's so complicated. But there's people who just eat meat all the time and they're feeling amazing.
Yes, but do they also eat vegetables and other nutrients? Maybe some vitamins?
It's called a carnivore diet. In fact, some people are totally getting rid of their inflammation and their arthritis and stuff like that with this diet.
That's because they're cutting out processed foods and carbs, right?
I don't know. That definitely has something to do with it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we could go down that whole nutrition road, but maybe we shouldn't.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's what I think about more.
These aren't my opinions. This is written fact and also anecdotal. These are not my opinions.
Okay.
So I'm just telling you what you said isn't necessarily true.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about some other ways where we've let ourselves go.
Okay.
Like,
Are we still on? How are we doing for the?
how, we're good.
Okay, we're good. All right, we're good. Good.
Because this isn't just about you feeling fat. This is about like relationships getting too comfortable, right? So like at a certain time, I'll like stop wearing makeup for full days at a time, or don't care what I'm wearing around the house all the time, like normal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So does that also start to affect the sexiness? It has to. The farting.
So I think it does. I think it chips away at it in such a way, but I think it can be reset really easily. And by the way, makeup's really interesting because you're putting on this fake thing, but it does, like, because of deep-rooted tradition and because it does accentuate and improve a look, and you can make it look really cool and really good in really subtle ways. Mm-hmm. It makes one more attractive.
Yeah.
But also it's kind of bullshit, right? It's just like...
Yeah, it depends. Well, there's like so many layers to that because there's makeup on your face that makes you look like you've put your face on to go to work or whatever. But there's all the things that we do before bed or in the morning that are supposed to make things look better. There's a lot of grooming and plucking and covering up blemishes from time to time that goes into like being
a lady.
Presentable.
Yeah.
And there are huge periods of time where most of my life, basically, I'm kind of like, fuck that. But,
which I love.
And there are times where I won't do a thing, like in Hawaii, I don't put makeup on, but.
Well, I'm not.
To go to work, I'm in a phase right now where I put a lot on.
Okay.
And maybe that has to do with how you feel.
And I'm not on the no makeup camp because I feel like makeup is part of like your style, like clothes are. Mm-hmm. So I don't think one can definitely go too far and not ever be comfortable with their regular face, which I think
some people look better without it.
Yeah, right. And it can be a really liberating thing to like, just say fuck it and throw caution to the wind. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I'm not a woman. I've never put on makeup. Not that that's a bad thing if a dude does. I'm just saying my perspective. But the other things do chip away at a relationship. But I think if I were, like, for example, if I were to lose some weight or get into more shape and my clothes are fitting better and all of this other stuff, then I can reverse that thing of less attractiveness, like getting chipped away over months or even years. I think we had a conversation about being more sexy and coming on to each other in different ways. Maybe we can get into that at some point in time. But so we implemented some of that back into our relationship, and it was awesome. Happened once. Happened one time.
I'm not very good at it. I think we're going to have a sex episode, and we
need to have a sex episode.
And we're also going to talk about intimacy, which like non-sexual and intimacy and sexual, but it's taken some learning for me to be okay with intimacy, like the staring into the eyes.
Yeah.
And feeling vulnerable and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not easy stuff, and it takes time. Mm-hmm. And
you tend to come on to me, and I don't always initiate because I'm...
Always? Don't always? Don't ever?
There are times.
Are there?
But I never say no.
Yes, you do.
When?
When you're too full. When you have a headache. The classic rundowns. I've said no because of the same reasons.
I was too full last night.
Yeah, I know, but you were gone, so we went at it. You were gone for a few days, so we got busy. Yeah, you don't initiate. We need to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I like to be...
But that's normal.
I like to be...
Dr. Drew said that's
came
normal.
on too. Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm.
For women?
Yeah.
I feel like it's inbred in our minds that we don't put ourselves out there, and it takes some correcting.
I think okay, that's a huge attractive component of a female partner for me. Mm-hmm. If you were to be confident and to come in strong, that would be amazing. Not only not only for sex and intimacy, but in any situation. If you were to just start handling shit, I'd love it.
Yeah, I know that about you too, for sure. But it takes me a little more work.
Yeah, and that's okay. And I just want to let you know I don't need to be in charge all the time, even though I tend to take the alpha role. I think like this is a partnership, and there might be some growing pains if you want to start running point on something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had that conversation when we first started dating of like, I think I was used to being alpha in previous relationships.
Yeah, because you were dating dodos.
And you are used to being alpha. And so we're like...
I'm a hawk.
We're like, well, we can't both be.
I'm a raven.
But with some stuff...
You're dating dodo birds. I'm a fucking hawk.
Yeah.
I like raven, though, because ravens are my spirit animal.
That's right.
Or crows.
I don't know what mine is.
Someday.
But I think I am the alpha on some stuff.
Yeah.
I think we do share responsibility.
Yeah, you're right.
Are you just saying that?
Nope.
Okay, good.
No, you're amazing. All right. Okay. So did we cover that? Okay. Let's do an episode where we talk about intimacy for sure.
Okay, let's do that.
All
and
right.
sex on a separate one.
Yeah, separate one.
Well, this was your topic idea. So we cover what you wanted to talk about?
I think so. I just wanted to bring it up with you, and we really got into it here more than because I've talked about that I'm going to talk about it with you, and I don't know if I went deep enough here to really. But
the whole topic ties in with what we talked about on the last episode 10, which is maybe finding a spark or becoming attracted to somebody else.
Sure, yeah.
Not by looking for it, but just by happenstance and wanting to pursue that. And
this is making more sense. This is why you don't mind that I'm fat. It's because when I'm fit, I'm just everybody and the girls. You know what I mean? It's like,
do the girls? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
And you don't want that to happen, and so you're cool with me being fatty.
Okay.
Fatty Fatterson.
I can share you. No, that is totally false.
Did you just say you can share me?
Yeah, it was a joke.
Okay.
That is false because
right.
I'd rather have my hot ass boyfriend out in the world or up on stage or whatever and be like, fuck yeah. That's
Okay.
what I get to go home to.
So there it is.
That person is taking me to bed.
Great.
And everyone knows it.
All right. So I need to get back at it, babe.
So do I. My goal is for us to get back to the point where we're talking about building a gym in our garage.
Okay. All right.
And
yes.
I get home from work and say, want to go for a run? And you say, yes. Or want to take the dog for a walk? Yes. Or what'd you have for lunch today? Vegetable.
I had one vegetable, and it was broccoli.
Oh, nature's broom.
Why do you call broccoli nature's broom?
Well, that is the official name for broccoli because it sweeps through your intestines and gets rid of a bunch of crap.
Okay. All right.
It's good for you.
Okay. What else are we talking about?
Okay. We have a new segment today.
Oh, a new segment.
Yeah. Do you have you come up with a riddle?
Questions of questions. Question of questions. Hey.
All of the pets got up when you did that. Okay, new segment. I bought a book. It's called The Book of Questions. And I started reading these and thought, hey, these might be fun to talk about on the podcast. And I flagged a few. So maybe we just start with one, huh? Oof. Can I ask you anything?
Yeah, ask me anything. I'm an open book.
Okay, I want to ask 2 questions today.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Here's the first one.
Yep.
If you had to be obsessed with money, sex, Sports, religion, or food, which one would you choose?
Money.
And let me preface this segment. These questions are not meant to just be answered and moved on from. They are meant to spark conversation. So, out of money, sex, sports, religion, or food, you want to be obsessed with money.
Maybe sports.
You would. That's weird.
Sports falls into exercise. Yeah, I'm not into watching sports or doing sports, but I really enjoy doing them, participating in them, and exercise is topical. But I think money, because that falls in the line of business, and I'm really passionate about business and having a successful business and participating in helping other businesses be successful. And money is a big part of that, and I have a goal of being financially free one day, what that means to me. And yeah, money. Because money's awesome.
Yeah. Wouldn't you be worried, though, that all of your motivation pointed towards money and you'd forget to remember other like values that you have?
Yeah, but you could say that about any one of those topics.
In pursuit of it?
You could say that about any one of those topics. So I think that argument needs to get thrown out the window because I'm forced to be obsessed on one of these things.
Let's see. Religion is out for sure. But some of these, like since you say you have an addictive personality, you could end up getting like addicted to any of these. Sex addiction.
Yeah.
Let's see. Money. You could start gambling. Food. You get fat.
Okay. Well, all right. You're literally telling me who I am right now.
Okay.
But so I have to pick one. It's money. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. I think I'd pick food.
All right.
You want to know why?
Yeah, of course. This is awesome.
Because I am not into cooking and I'm not very good at cooking. And I think that would help me get good at it because I would care enough to spend the time to learn about it and make things.
So your obsession in this
food
would go into making food and being knowledgeable about food.
Hopefully.
And mine is making money and being knowledgeable about money.
Yeah, and you'll be making us so much money that I'll have time to
just make food. That sounds great.
Make food. Wait,
cool.
What is happening here?
I don't know. What is happening? What do you see? What's your observation?
We're falling into the typical old school man and wife.
A little bit
tropes.
there. Huh. Interesting.
That's weird. I don't want to cook food. Next question.
All right. Hang on a second. Because that's not okay because I like to cook food.
Yeah. Thank you.
And I'm good at it. And you like to cook food and you're good at it.
Like basics. Yeah.
It's that I don't think that observation fits. Let's move on to the next question.
On. What is the most serious law you've broken doing something you thought was morally right?
Babe.
Morally right.
Oh, okay.
Wouldn't hurt anyone or was no one's business but yours?
That I have actually broken?
Yes.
Okay, I've never broken a law that was justified.
Are you sure? I mean, there are really small laws, like not wearing your seatbelt.
Oh, well, I've ran some red lights and stuff.
But it says here wouldn't hurt anyone.
Well, okay, so here's the scenario. Are you ready for this one?
Sure.
The light is red and it's the middle of the night. This has happened so many times and there's nobody around and the red light is staying red for an abnormal amount of time. It's been clearly a full minute, maybe 45 seconds.
Wow.
And it's still red. I'm fucking running that red light. Go fuck yourself. It's not dangerous. There's nobody around. And also, if I may dovetail into waiting for the walk sign, because this has happened, all right? Over here on this one intersection, busy-ish, but it didn't say walk, but there were no cars coming on the cross section. So it's safe to walk. I walk and I turn back and you and our friends are still sitting on the corner looking at me like going, no, man, we're not doing it. And there's no cars around and there's a red hand. And I'm like, you guys are pussies.
Rule followers. Cake licker. Wait, cake sniffer. Jaywalking's a good one. I feel like a lot of people do that, and you don't feel like you're going to hurt someone. And it's no one's business but your own.
Yeah.
Mine would probably be similar because it's a driving scenario, but I commute to work and I have to take the toll lanes from time to time. And you know what? Sometimes I'm late, and by sometimes I mean always. And I have paid a lot of toll fees the last couple of years, and I didn't know until recently that you could get the little slider for when you have people in your car with you for the HOV part of the toll lane where you don't have to pay. So I hung that in my car, and sometimes when it's really
This is awesome. This is going really well.
Sometimes when I really have to like make a meeting or something.
This is so interesting.
And it's abnormal traffic.
Gotta pay the troll toll to get in.
I'll switch it to carpool.
Gotta pay the toll.
And not pay.
Gotta pay the troll toll to get in.
When I'm by myself.
Cool, babe. That was a great segment.
Why are you being so sarcastic? I've only read a few pages, so I'll find better questions in this book.
Okay. No, those were good. Those were good. Those were okay. I think Me Likey, No Likey's a better segment.
If you could kill people, okay, yeah, I agree. Could you come up with some more stuff so we can do it?
Yeah. I've been writing some stuff down lately. A lot of stuff. So
great.
I don't have a lot. I only have a few pages.
Okay. So, cliffhanger.
Are we done? Are we wrapping this up?
I think so. It's time.
Was this a good one? Was this okay?
I don't know. It could be relatable.
I felt like I whined about how poopy I feel.
Well, are you going to do something about it?
That's the thing, babe. I don't know. Not today.
Why not?
I don't know. It's just I'm in the
Here's the
comfort of
thing.
it.
Well, are you comfortable or are you uncomfortable?
Both.
The minute that you start to feel better, if you start moving your body or you release some endorphins, it's going to mend some depression you're feeling. It's going to help with anxiety. You're going to get more productive with work where sometimes you're feeling stuck.
I've been having that involuntary depression where it just it's just like this thick layer of fog.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't do anything about it. I got to deal with it. Mm-hmm. And eventually it goes away and I work through it.
And if you go for a long run or a hike or something and you feel like you did something, then you come home and have a cookie. Let me tell you, that feels pretty good.
Okay. All right.
Gonna do some push-ups.
Okay. So what's our cliffhanger for our next episode?
So next time we're going to talk about relationship stages.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah. We're going to talk about like the stages of a relationship and what ones we're in. And there's this really cool article about it. And I want to go over it a little bit here and there and how long people stay in those stages and where they end up. Typically it's marriage and everything in between. And I want to bring it back to us and how we can relate to that.
Yeah, we'll tell some stories from each stage.
And I just, spoiler alert, I default back to being punk rock about it, which is fuck the stages. I don't want to go there because fuck you. And I want to talk about that too. I want to talk about my anger with the way I'm supposed to do the relationship thing.
Well, hang on a sec. I think that some stages are just natural. You can't argue, like stages of grief. You can't argue with the fact that at first you're in denial, then you're angry, then you're depressed, or whatever they are. There's
Maybe
5.
right now I'm grieving my single life and I'm angry.
Are you?
I'm in the angry stage.
Are you?
I'm just saying, you're saying the thing, I'm making an observation. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm grieving my single life.
Oh, well, let's talk about it on the podcast then, because that's news to me.
Okay. Next episode.
Save it for the P. Okay.
That's not a thing. People don't say that.
I say it all the time.
You say save it for the P?
Yeah.
I don't think people will get that.
I don't remembered me saying.
I don't think that's a thing.
Save it for the podcast.
Yeah, but save it for the P?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
A pea is a vegetable. I'll show you one sometime.
I know what a pea is. I've eaten vegetables before.
Oh, shit. Okay, everyone. We're going to go have some veggies for dinner. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a wonderful night. I know you're looking at me because I just smacked my lips. I love you. Good night.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.